Hello soulmates, it is an absolute pleasure to have you once again on my channel. If this is your first time checking out my channel, please consider subscribing because on this channel I teach you how to do simple DIY fashion right there in the comfort of your home. Today is going to be a very quick one. Today I'm going to show you two different methods in which you could use to have a neat finishing neckline. Your neckline could be on a dress or on a blouse. So I'm going to give you two ways in which you could finish the neckline of your blouse. The first method is by using facing. Here I have the half length of a blouse and I want to finish this neckline with facing. So in order to do that, if you notice, this is the front and this is the back. And both of them, the necklines have the same it's the same shape, and the same size. So all I could do is just take one and I'm going to make the facing for both the front and the back. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to, on the folded part, so I'm going to put the folded part together with each other like this. Ensure that they're even because you don't want to make any mistakes. And you're going to take your blouse and you're going to match up the necklines, okay? And what you're going to do is that you're going to trace it out. Trace out the neckline of the top. So here I trace it out. And I'm going to trace the shoulder also. But you're not going to trace all the shoulder line. You're not going to trace all of the shoulder line. So what you're going to do, you're going to remove your piece. So if you notice, it's traced here. And what you're going to do, depends on how wide you want your facing to be. You're going to measure, in this case, I want mine to be about 2.5 inches. And I'm going to take that 2.5 inch all the way around. Okay, and I'm gonna connect those points. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Okay, so since this would be the facing for your top, but since I'm doing this just for illustration purpose. Since I'm doing this for illustration purpose, what you need to do is that you need to fuse interfacing on this in order to give your neckline some stability so it looks not flimsy. So what I'm going to do, since I'm not going to do that and I just want to illustrate how you can finish your neckline, I'm just going to take my sewing machine. And so here I have my sewing machine here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to join the shoulders. So I left 1/2 inch seam allowance at my shoulder. So I'm going to join it on my lining and also on the main project, which is the blouse. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do now. Okay guys, so now that you have this, what you're going to do, you're going to open out your blouse like this. You're going to open it up. Ensure that you iron these seams down. Open them like this and iron them down. And you're going to do the same thing for all 4 shoulders. Iron them down. And you're going to take your lining like this. So this is what you're going to have. And you're going to put right sides facing each other, okay? So you're going to match up the shoulders. Match up the shoulders like this. So you're going to match the shoulders like this, and you're going to pin it down. I'm using my Wonder clips. Sure that the seams are the same. Okay. So here I have, and I'm gonna just pin it all the way around. Okay. So you're gonna pin it all the way around. When you do that, you're gonna take it back to your sewing machine. And you're going to take your 1/2 inch seam allowance, or whatever seam allowance you left, 1/4 inch, whatever you want. You're gonna put it underneath, and from the shoulder, one of the shoulder, you're going to put your needle down and start sewing. Okay, so you're gonna take this very slowly because you don't want to make a mistake. Alright, so this is what you're going to have now. So all you're going to do, you're going to take your clipper. So this is what you're supposed to have. This is what I have. So this is what I have. I'm going to take my clipper and I'm going to give it some snips. Okay? I'm going to snip all the way around. This makes your neckline easy to turn. Okay? So snip it, but do not snip the thread now. You have to be careful. So now what you're going to do, you're going to take it and you're going to do a top stitch, okay, to secure it down. So you're going to stitch all the way around to the lining part. Alright guys, so this is what you're supposed to have when you're done. You see how neat it is? All you have to do now is that you're going to give it a good iron to make it stay flat. So this is what you're supposed to do. So method number 2. This method you're going to use bias strip to finish the neckline, okay? So I'm going to show you how you could go ahead and cut bias strip. Bias strips are sold in your local fabric store, but you don't have to buy it if you can make it. So what you're going to do is that you're going to take a piece of fabric. So if I should stretch my fabric like this, you see how stiff it is. It can hardly move. If I do it on this side also, you see that it's stiff. But if I should stretch my fabric like this, you see that it gives back, or it's stretchy. So this, you'll know that that's the bias of the fabric. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold my fabric on the bias. So this is my fabric here, and I'm going to take this end and I'm going to fold it like this. So on this side here is what we call the bias of the fabric. That's the bias. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut my strip on the bias in order to get my bias. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to measure. So since this is unfold and I want it to be 1 inch, I'll have to take 1/2 inch down. Okay, so I'm gonna take 1/2 inch all the way down to get 1 inch. Okay, so now I'm going to cut it. So here I have my biased strip. Okay, line, you're going to put right sides facing each other like this. Okay, like this. join them at the shoulder. So I went ahead and I joined it at the shoulders. So you have to ensure that the bias strip that you have is enough, okay? So you're going to take the right side of your blouse and you're going to open the seams, remember? And you're going to put the right side of your bias strip facing it. And what you're going to do, if you're a beginner, go ahead and mark whatever seam allowance you want to take on your bias strip so that you follow it as you go on. But since I have done this so many times, I'm just going to clip it down all the way around. I'm going to clip it all the way around and then I'm going to go ahead and start sewing. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do now. Remember to open your seams, okay? The shoulder, at the shoulder. And I should tell you, do not stretch your bias. Do not stretch it. Just put it on top of it and sew it. If you stretch it, then you're going to have a disfigured neckline. So do not stretch it. Just put it on top of it and sew. Do not stretch. Do not stretch your bias tape. Okay, so guys, you see I've come to the end of the other bias strip. Okay, so what you're going to do now, so this is what you're supposed to have. So what you're going to do now, you're going to snip it. Snip it all the way around. So that's what I'm going to. So what you're going to do now, you're going to take it and this is what it's going to look like. You're going to fold it like this and then you're going to fold again like this. Okay, so let me show you again. You fold it like this and then you're going to fold one more time like this and then you're going to make a stitch all the way around. Okay guys, so this is the result of the neckline with the bias strip. This is what it looks like and is the result of the one with the facing. So if you find this video helpful, do not forget to give me a thumbs up, do not forget to subscribe for more videos and turn on the post notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I make a video. Until we meet again, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.